Good morning. It is September 1st and it is Monday. We are now in eclipse week. Saturn is back in Pisces. I find it interesting that we're starting the week with Saturn moving back into Pisces, and we're going to end the week on Sunday with a Pisces eclipse, lunar eclipse. It's going to be an interesting week. We have a lot going on moving forward. But with Saturn back in Pisces, this means that we need to get ourselves grounded again. We've got to stop with the delusions, the hope core, the looking for the silver lining in places where there is none. This is where we need to get our emotional work in check. We need to get our belief systems into a structured space, into a more usable space. Stop trying to do the escapism thing. And it's just where we just need to get realistic in general. We also need to learn how to trust our intuition better. We're going to be working on that during this time. Having better boundaries when it comes to these things, listening to your intuition, you're protecting your emotional space and things of that nature. So we're starting off the week strong. The moon is still in Sagittarius right now until about 7:45 tonight Mountain Time. It is going to make a trine to Mercury and a square to Saturn. So we are being ruled by Jupiter in Cancer, which can be big emotion. That trine to Mercury could be a moment where we just want to be heard. There's some kind of truth you want to speak. Maybe it's an emotional truth. Maybe it's something about family or home, things of that nature, but also about just wanting to be nurturing as well. Now, it's going to make that square to Saturn at that 29th degree, and this is where we're going to see a reality check kick in. This is where you're going to be shown that you've got to get more realistic about what's happening in the world around you, in your immediate space, everything that's going on right now, whatever it is that you're trying to ignore because it's hard. And then it'll move it into Capricorn, where it's going to be ruled by that Saturn, and then it's going to make a square to Neptune and an inconjunct to Uranus. This could be a shocking truth that comes out that really shows you where maybe you've been a little bit delusional. So this evening is where we're going to see things get a little shocking. It could kind of ruffle your system a little bit. So really be on the lookout for that. Cards wise, King of Pentacles is our energy of the day. We have this with that Saturn back in Pisces, being grounded, being stable, kind of king of your castle kind of energy for the day, especially with that Jupiter ruling the moon the majority of the day. Jupiter in Cancer is nice, right? But we need to make sure we're not letting that niceness override what the reality of things as well. So there really is just this energy of wanting to take care of family, wanting to take care of emotions, being nurturing, right? But also being stable in our emotional state as well. What we are focusing on is the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm going to do a video about Saturn and Pisces because there's a lot to it. But with Saturn moving back into Pisces, this is our second and last chance to finish out the emotional work, the shadow work, the work on our belief systems, getting grounded. So we really want to focus on that today. Make sure that we are getting out of that escapism of a higher timeline, ascending to 5D, and all of that nonsense that is nothing more than spiritual escapism. And we're getting it down here into realistic spaces. So really focus on that today. Where are you planting that seed? And we're going to work on that for a while until it moves back into Aries, and then we're starting fresh for good. What we're avoiding, death. It's Virgo season. Virgo season is planning season. It's not an active energy. We don't want to make an actual transformation today. We're just planting that seed. We're making the plans. We're observing right now. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Wands. So I have a sneaky suspicion whatever it is that comes out today, that's that shocking truth, might be something like you've been trying so hard to stay in that hope core kind of energy, and here yet again there's another thing that comes up that shows you that the ugly stuff really is happening, right? So this is like that you've been defending yourself and defending yourself and defending yourself, and you're just so tired, right? But you still feel like you've got to defend yourself. So that is that underlying energy here. So when we see that the moon make a trine to Mercury, that's where you might kind of be lashing out a little bit. it's still a good energy and it's still a good time to be heard and speak up, but just be careful with that. You could find yourself in some pretty emotional tiffs over that energy there. Let's pull clarifiers for the King of Pentacles. Also, Mercury hits 29 degrees of Leo today, this evening, right around the same time that trine happens. So there could be a lot of like, look at me kind of energy when it comes to communicating. King of Pentacles, clarifiers. A whole handful. We're not taking. Oh yeah, 6 of Pentacles. And come on. 3 of Pentacles. So this is a very helpful energy. Again, Jupiter in Cancer is extremely nurturing. It really wants to take care of people kind of energy. And Jupiter also traditionally rules Pisces, and with Saturn back in Pisces now, that groundedness to it. So this is a really kind of helpful, taking a position of authority where you're not like a banging on the desks, shouting orders kind of authority, but like a nurturing, listening, being there for people. You might feel a lot of tension in the air. People just need someone to talk to. This might also be focusing on finances here as well. Clarifiers for our Ace of Pentacles. We have 3 of Wands and 7 of Cups. So you need to get clear on what it is that you're wanting. What is it that you've been manifesting? What is it that you really truly want? What is the realistic ideas there? Not wishful thinking, but being realistic about it. Because right now things are confusing. Everything feels up in the air. Not quite sure which way to go. There's a lot of like cloudiness with like what's coming moving forward. Right, so really get realistic about that and plant the seed about what you really are moving towards in your life. Clarifiers for death. We have a 6 of Wands and a Page of Swords. So you might be like really looking for that big win, that big celebration, that ability to pat yourself on the back, right? And then we have Page of Swords here. This can be like kind of shady sometimes, like people watching you. You could get some information, somebody running to you with some kind of information. This almost gives me like gossipy type of energy as well. But we want to avoid doing any kind of transformation to like go ahead and take that win right now, because again, things are not super clear at the moment. So we really want to make sure that we're not like, we just want to get realistic about things, right? Again, we got to get rid of the hope core when things are really happening. You still look for the small wins. Absolutely. You can still, within all the ugliness, find your peace in that, but we don't do that by pretending like the ugliness isn't happening. Bottom of the deck, here is Queen of Cups, that nurturing energy of that Jupiter in Cancer. So just take care of each other. That's all we have to do. Take care of each other and be realistic about what is happening.